Hey guys, it's Carolina here from KarolinasKrafts and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have another tutorial for you guys for my Scrappy Christmas Crafts series. If you guys are new here and you don't know yet, this is a collaboration with Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and every month on the 25th of the month, we are doing a Christmas project and a tutorial. And obviously you don't have to do Christmas if you don't want to. We've been trying to use up our Christmas paper and do a ton of Christmas projects because the end of the year just always ends up being so busy and you can never create as much as you wanted to. So we're doing one Christmas project every single month with a tutorial. So I want to show you guys what I have for you guys this month. We'll get into it. I'll show you guys the project share and then we will create it together. So let's get started. Totally forgot to mention, but if you guys recreate any of these projects, please use the hashtag Scrappy Christmas Crafts with a K for Karolina's Crafts, so Scrappy Christmas Crafts. Please use that hashtag when you guys are posting on YouTube or on Instagram, and also make sure to tag me, Karolina's Crafts, and Tiffany, which is Let's Get Scrappy 1 on Instagram, or just Let's Get Scrappy on YouTube, so that we can see your projects as well. Again, you do not have to do Christmas, but please make sure to use that hashtag. And also, if you guys are interested in this album, it will be available and for sale in my Etsy shop. Okay, so this is my front cover. I just have that cut apart here that says Happy Holidays. It is so beautiful. I decorated with some little like jemmies. They're like brad, but the adhesive brads from Cardstock. I just threw them in from my stash. The paper collection I used was not from that. I have some flowers here with some gold leafy bits. You guys know I do my stitching and I layer with gold. So that's that. I still forgot to add my logo sticker on the back, like my handmade logo sticker on the back, so I'll make sure to do that. But that's what that looks like. So this opens up and it looks like this. You can add a photo here. I just wouldn't bulk this up too much. There are some magnets under here, which totally was an afterthought. So I mean, because I was trying to think of other ways to do this, but definitely, and I will tell you guys in the tutorial where to put like your labels for your magnets and where they should go, so that you don't end up having like a piece here if you don't want to. But I thought this is also just cute for a photo. You could also add a photo here on this side, but again, I wouldn't go larger than this cut apart. I would keep it within here so that you don't see it when it's closed. And then this opens up one more time, so it's like a trifold folio. And I'm gonna move this over to the side just a little bit. So here, this is something new that I did here, and I made like a belly band to keep this closed. So normally belly bands you just use as like tuck spots and whatnot, but I made it to keep this part closed, to keep that flap closed. So here I have a tag from the collection with white on the back, and some scrap seam binding from my stash, and this is from my scrap cabin shop, which I will link down below. It's an Etsy shop, and she has tons of colors. So I just used red here because I have a scrap drawer of like ribbon and seam binding, so I tend to go through that whenever I need to add some ribbon or something to my tags. Then I also have this there. It's another like just like a scrap I had from the collection. And then when you open this up, I just have like a white mat here, so you could write something or add photos. And you could obviously add a photo to the back, and you could tuck more stuff into here as well. So when you take that out, now you can open this up, and that flips left. You've got this beautiful candy cane paper, and then this side flips to the right, and it mirrors that candy cane paper. So then here I have a double pocket. This is another tag. It says Merry Christmas with white on the back and some seam binding, and another flip up photo mat area. So you could add a photo here, and then a journal spot here that says Under the Mistletoe. And then there's this little booklet here, and this one I did not mat with any white because I thought you would just add 2 larger photos and then possibly a photo to the back. And this is heavyweight 110-pound cardstock, so it's fairly sturdy. The whole album is actually made of 110-pound cardstock, so if you don't have chipboard, no problem. This time I made a cardstock album. Then the center here, and if you guys are noticing, this is familiar to a fall album I did, which I'll link down in the description box down below. But it's a fall album I did that I did not have a tutorial on because I was just playing around with my scraps, and then this is kind of like what I came up with. So this is similar. The inside is similar. It's not the same size, it's a little bit different, and I added this belly band, so similar, but I think it's like an upgrade. Here I have a gusseted pocket. So I don't know if you guys could see, but there is a gusset there. So you could fit a ton of goodies in here. Like if I wanted to add these in there also, I could totally do that. Oh, I just realized I closed that wrong. So I could totally do that. You could fit a ton in here. There's so much space for photos. And obviously you could fit photos in the double pocket here as well. But here I have this tag, just another tag that keeps this closed. And this is a 6x6 cut apart from the collection that says "Let It Snow." So I just put that on there. This flips open and I have this beautiful like Christmas stocking paper there. And I've got another like booklet that opens up, and this one looks like this. It says "Happy Holidays" on the inside. You could write your message. You could also add a photo. So if you want to use these in here, you can, or you could just take these out and use this as like your card and mail it to somebody, whatever you want to do. And then underneath that, I have a waterfall. So I just used some solids from my stash, and they flip open. I didn't mat the back side so that you could add your photos, and obviously you could add your photo here, but again, I wouldn't go over this like 1/2 inch on the bottom, just so you could still see the colors when it's closed. And then I have more stuff here. Like I'm telling you guys, a lot fits in this pocket. So here I have another booklet. I didn't add in a white photo mat so that you can add your photos fully. And then this one does have white on the back so that you can write something if you'd like to. And then you could tuck in tons more photos in here. Again, it is gusseted. Then I have this one keeping that closed. You don't have to do that though. If you want to just close it like that and put your stuff on the outside here, you could totally do that. Actually, I think that looks really cute, but I'm gonna keep it how I did have it, just like this. But it's up to you, okay? You could do it however you want to do it. So that is the folio album that we are going to be making, and let's get right into the tutorial. Okay, so you're going to start off with your scoreboard and 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Again, this is heavyweight 110-pound cardstock from Michaels. I'll link it down below. I'm just using black. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention, I think. Yes, I did. I will have a cutting guide. So I wrote out all the measurements, but I'm going to have a cutting guide available in the description box down below where you could click to my coffee website. It is going to be posted there, and you can download the PDF file from there. So yeah, I do that for my Scrappy Christmas Craft series. I just started it a couple months ago, but I hope you guys are liking and enjoying the cutting guide. Again, if you can, or if you'd like to, please make a small donation if you can, just to support my coffee website and to support like me making these cutting guides for you guys. Like, I could always just write it out for me like I do. I don't have to type it up, but I do for you guys because it makes it, I think, a little bit easier to cut all your pieces. So this for the base, again, we're not using chipboard, just cardstock. So for the base, I have my 8.5 by 11 paper. I lined it up on the 11-inch side up on top, and I'm gonna score this first piece at 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inch. Then I'm gonna take it and score at 7 1/4. And then I'm gonna score again at 8 1/4. Okay, so that's my first piece. If you guys could see those lines. And then I'm gonna take my second piece, another blank 8.5 by 11 paper, and I'm gonna score this one at 1 inch, at 7 inches, and 7 1/8. Okay, so they look a little different with the score lines, but that's all we need to make our base. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this on all of my score lines. All right, so score and fold all of those. Okay, this one might be a little tricky where we have that 1/8 inch. So go ahead and just do like one at a time. Take your time with this. It's a little tricky to fold. Doesn't help that I have a boo-boo on my finger. So I had a whole entire other plan for what I wanted to create today that I had designed and drew out, but my finger is a little sore. So we decided to do like an easy project. So that's what it should look like with your little 1/8 inch gusset. Okay, so you have this piece. This is gonna be your left side. This is your right side that has the small like piece here and the other inch here. What you're gonna do is get some glue on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put glue on this 1 inch piece. And I'm just using wet glue. If you want to, you can use double-sided tape, but I usually only use double-sided tape when I'm working with chipboard. So you're gonna place this down. I'm gonna zoom you guys in for a second here. Hope you guys could see this, but you don't wanna place it over the score line. So you want to make sure your score line is still visible from that other paper, but you're just going to attach these two together. And just like that. So I have my other score line still there. It's visible. And that is my album. That's basically what our album is going to look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and burnish this. This is where I attach them together. So I'm just gonna burnish those together. All right, so we got our album. Now, I want you guys to take a pencil and I want you guys to write down, this is where you're gonna need a magnet. So you're gonna need a magnet here, a magnet here, a magnet here, and here. So these two are gonna go together. If you are adding, and you're not adding in like a cut apart like I did, that's where your magnets would go. If you're adding a cut apart, your cut apart is gonna go like here, right? So then in that case, you'd want a magnet here, 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 and here. And then on your cut apart, you would have 4 magnets. Okay, so it kind of just depends how you're doing this, whether you're doing just like this or if you're adding a cut apart like I did. So I have a magnet here. Hold on, I have a magnet here, here, and under here. So I have magnet here, here, and here, and here. And then I have the 4 magnets here. But you can do here and here, and you could do the 2 here as well. However you want to do it. The magnets, you know, I mean, but you do need a ton because you want it to hold in place. Okay, you want it to hold in place. So, okay, we have our base. Next up, let's do our center. So when I open this up, this is what it looks like. There's a flap here with a gusset. Let's work on the center. For the center flap, you're gonna need a piece, and you could change this. You could change these measurements, but I was using a paper pad that had 6 by 6 cut aparts. So I made my flap to fit a 6 by 6 piece of paper. So mine is cut to 6 1/8 by 7. On the 7-inch side up here, you are going to score this at 6 1/8 and 6 3/8. This gives you a 1/4 inch gusset, and you're going to be needing that for your waterfall that we're going to have underneath and the pocket that's going to fit a ton of photos. So go ahead and score your paper and fold it along those score lines. Okay, you're going to then take this and we're going to glue it. So I want you guys to have your visible 1/4 inch there. There's your other piece, your flap. That's where we're going to attach glue. Just like so. And I'm going to fold that. I still want that other 1/4 inch gusset visible. And you're going to glue this at the top. Make sure you could still see your 2 score lines on the right hand side and on the left hand side. You do not want to cover those up, okay, because then your album is not going to fold. All right, so go ahead and burnish that. All right, and we have our 1/4 inch gusset. So that's what that looks like, our little flap. Now for the pocket that's going to go down here, you're going to need a piece that measures 3 inches by 8 1/8 of an inch. On the 3-inch side, I'm going to go ahead and turn this. On the 3-inch side, you're going to score this at, wait a second. No, hold on. On the 3-inch side, you're going to score this at 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. Then you're going to turn this to the 8 1/8 inch side. You're going to score this at 3/4 at 1 inch. And then you're going to come down here and score at 7 1/8, which is that first little tick after the 7, and then 7 3/8, which is the tick right before 7 1/2. Okay, you just want your 1/4 inch gusset all around. So I have it here, here, and I have it here. So now I'm going to take some scissors, and we got to do some cutting in order to glue this down. So you see this corner here, this is my right corner. I'm going to do like a little angle cut right there, if you guys could see, and an angle cut right here, just up to that first score line. Then these first like 2 before I get to that other, I'm gonna cut that off. So I'm just gonna go straight, and I'm gonna go straight across here on that score line. So your corners will come off, and then you have that. That's what that should look like. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side as well. Miter to your first score line, and then come here and miter this one also. Then cut this straight up, and then this one straight up. But you're not going all the way, you're just going where like all those lines kind of meet. So that's what we have now. That's what that should look like. So go ahead and fold all of these on both score lines all the way around. Quarter inch gussets are a lot easier than the 1/8 inch ones. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue on that bottom flap, not the one that has a flap on each side, just the bottom. Okay, gonna lift that up, and I want to glue this one down. So again, make sure you have your kind of gusset there, because we're just gonna glue this flat up against the bottom, but again, you're not going over the score lines on the right and the left hand side. Okay, so we have that there. Then I want you guys to get some tape. I just have some packing tape, and I'm gonna put this along the bottom where I just had glued it down. This just kind of helps your tuck pieces later to slide in better. And then these other pieces, you're gonna fold them in. We're gonna put some glue on them, and then we're gonna glue them down. Make sure when you glue them down, this is straight down here though. You don't want this up here when you glue this down, because then it's not gonna be so much of a gusset anymore. So you want it to be straight. So go ahead and put glue on those tabs. And if you want to notch this ahead of time, or like hold off on this, make sure you notch it in advance. I totally forgot, and I'm already gluing this down, but oh well, we're not gonna notch this one when I go to fill it and mat it. So make sure again that everything is straight on the bottom. You want that standing up straight, and just align it, and then go in with your bone folder to kind of help press down. So like you could put your bone folder in and just like press down. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna put my bone folder in there, make sure it's straight, and then I'm gonna just press down like basically on my bone folder, because like getting in there like this, I feel like doesn't do anything. I feel like pressing down on it just, you know, does something, rather than pressing like this. That's not gonna do anything either. Okay, so we have our pocket. This should close no problem without touching this, and it does, so that's good. If it does touch it a little, just take this to your cutting board, or yeah, cutting whatever thing. However you want to cut it, just cut off a little sliver if it touches, but it shouldn't. I haven't had any problems with that. So now for the waterfall on the inside of the flap, you're going to need 4 pieces that measure 4 5/8 by 6 1/8, and you're going to score on the 4 5/8 inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so I basically did that already, but I will show you guys. But I did score all of mine already, just so this tutorial goes a little bit faster. So 4 5/8 inch side, you're going to score this at 1/2 inch. Okay. And you're gonna do that with all 4 of your pieces. So I do have my 4 here. I'm gonna go ahead and burnish that. And if at any point of this video you need to pause, go ahead and do that. I think it's very helpful if you follow along with the cutting guide, label everything kind of like how I did here, and I will label it on, it's labeled on the cutting guide as well. But I think that's helpful, so that you just can grab your pieces and burnish with me rather than cutting with me, since I already have everything cut out. So I mean, but if you want to, go ahead and just pause the video. So now I have my 4 waterfall pieces. I'm gonna start with the first one. You're just gonna put some glue on that 1/2 inch score line. Okay, just like that. And you're gonna put this down here, but again, you want it underneath that other score line from the flap. You don't want to cover it up, because then it's not going to close. So if you guys want to test it out, make sure to close that and make sure it closes properly. And mine does, so I'm good to go. I'm going to go ahead and burnish that. Okay, now I'm going to take my next piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. But now you're going to line it up under the piece that you just glued down. Okay, so get that as straight as possible. Close this up, make sure they're lined up. Mine are. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish it. Okay, now I'm on my 3rd piece. Same idea. And line it up. And mine's good. Go ahead and burnish. And my last piece. Okay, again, just make sure you're not gluing anything over any score lines. If you glue it over a score line, your pages are not going to close. Like, notice how mine are still closing all properly. I can still get my straight kind of spines here. Everything is good. So now we are done with the center. You're going to fill this up. You're going to paper mat it. You're going to add cut aparts and whatever. I'm not giving you guys measurements for that because it's just whatever scraps you have. That's literally all I do. Whatever size cut aparts I have, whatever scraps I have, that's just how I make it work. So for this side, we already have a flap going this way. We need another flap going the other way. So you're going to need a piece that measures 4.5 by 8.5. So 4.5 by 8.5 on the 4.5 inch side. So here up top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and then 5/8 of an inch. We're just getting that little 1/8 of an inch gusset again. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that. And again, take your time with this. It is a little tricky to fold these little like 1/8 of an inch gussets. 1/4 inches are much easier. All right, so I have mine folded. That's what it should look like. Go ahead and put glue on the back on that little 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm gonna turn this just so it's easier so I can see my score line. Make sure you could see your 1/8 of an inch gusset. It's just easier to put down that way, and go ahead and glue it down. But again, make sure you do not glue it down over that score line. We want to still see that other score line, okay? Do not glue on top of that. Okay, I'm gonna fluff this up with my 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and that's what that looks like. We still need the pocket on the inside, but I want to tell you guys about the belly band. So I'm not adding my belly band here. I'm not going to add it. I will tell you how to do it. But if you want to add magnets, go ahead and write magnet here and here, and then here and here. You can do a magnetic closure. That's completely fine. If you want to do a ribbon, you could do a ribbon closure. Add it underneath your matted paper, add a little bit here, add a little bit here, and you could have a little bit of a ribbon closure. If you want to do what I did with the belly band, all you're going to need is take like a scrap of cardstock. Okay, I don't want to cut on that. Those have gussets. I had mine cut to 5/8 of an inch because my belly band was, you know those like border strips at the top of the paper? That's what my belly band was made out of. So I cut this at 5/8 of an inch by 8.5. And my belly band was 1/2 inch by 8 3/8. So that's all I did. You do have to make sure to add your paper to this flap first, but your belly band, when this is closed, just kind of look where it should go, and like mine would go like something like that, and you would just put a little bit of glue on the top, on the very top, and on the very bottom, and just glue it down, and the rest is open. So that's all you would do for your belly band. But I'm not matting this right now, so I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I don't know how I want to do this one yet. Maybe I'll do a ribbon, I don't know. But there's different ways to change this up if you'd like. So now for the inside of this pocket, my little angled pocket, let's work on that. You're going to need a piece that measures 6 7/8 by 6. So I think my side is 6 7/8 by 6. You're gonna score a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. Easy peasy. So it doesn't matter where you put this into your scoreboard because you're gonna go 1/2 inch all the way around. Okay, so I have my score lines all the way around. You are going to need your cutting board again, and that's what I'm going to do now. So go ahead and put this in your, why do I do, it's called a cutting board, right? I feel like it sounds so weird today. Anyway, from corner to diagonal corner, that's what you are cutting. corner to diagonal corner. Not the corner of this paper, okay, but the corner here where those score lines meet, from that corner to that corner, where the score lines meet. Okay, so that's what I have now. Okay, so you have these two pieces. We cut them diagonal. That's what you have. One of these pieces is going to be your right hand pocket. The other one you're just going to fold the other way, so flip it over, and that's your other left hand pocket. Before we do fold those, cut these corners off. So you're just mitering that. And I'm going to flip this because that's my other side. And you're just going to make it fold the other way on that score line, but that way you have two even pockets. Okay, so go ahead and fold that. Okay, and then when we folded this, you have like this extra piece kind of hanging out. When this is folded, just cut that off. And the same thing on the other one. So all you're gonna do with that is they're just gonna get glued here. So I like to glue this one down first. I'm not gonna glue them though, because you wanna do your paper on here first. You're gonna need this kind of measurement to do your paper. So, but you would glue this one down first. Then for this next one, you're gonna glue everywhere where it's gonna be touching that other pocket. Don't glue on the very end in the corner. And then you're gonna glue this whole piece. Just don't glue that bottom corner, because then it's kind of hard to stick a full-size piece into that other pocket. But that's exactly how you're gonna glue it, just like that. I'm just gonna paper clip mine, so let me get a paper clip. And you probably wanna paper clip it too, because you'll wanna paper mat this afterwards. But just, yeah, paper clip it for now. But that's it. That's the entire folio, trifold folio album kind of thing that has plenty of space for photos, has a waterfall and everything. And this would just close up like that, and that is everything. So go ahead and have fun paper matting your album. Super easy tutorial, nice and quick today. And yeah, it's just a nice fun project that fits a lot of photos. So thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot wait to see your projects. Make sure you guys are using the hashtag #ScrappyChristmasCrafts. I'm put it on the screen here one more time so you guys could see. So on Instagram, YouTube, use that hashtag. Make sure to tag me, KarolinasKrafts, and Tiffany, Let's Get Scrappy, on both YouTube and Instagram if you guys do share your projects. And we're looking forward to seeing what you guys create, whether it's with Christmas paper, not Christmas paper, whatever you guys make. Also, make sure to download the cutting guide from my coffee website. Link is down below in the description box. And if you guys are interested again in purchasing my finished album, that is also in the description box down below. And I totally forgot to mention which paper pad I used for my album. And it's this classic Christmas paper pad from Michaels. It was a hot buy from, I think, last year. I used it on one of my previous Scrappy Christmas Crafts projects, and then on also something else I created. I forgot what. But I've used it a couple of times already. I'm still trying to kill this paper pad, and I still have somehow a ton of paper. So we still gotta keep working with this. Maybe not in the Scrappy Christmas Craft series, but I do gotta finish this up before Christmas. Would be great. All right, guys, so that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next crafty video. Talk to you soon. Bye.